Yeah. So now we're gonna be doing the glaze for the cinnamon rolls. So, pretty easy. We're gonna take about half of the block of cream cheese that we have here. Only half. We're gonna take the butter. Again, only half of stick. Because we're not going to be making a lot of glaze. The dough already is pretty sweet. So we're only gonna be making enough glaze for it to be moist and sweet enough. So we're gonna cream these two cheeses out together. Make a cream out of it. You're gonna be whisking until both of these look white. Why will it look white? Because we're incorporating air into it. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna be adding all the sugar, just like that. All in the whisk. All in the bowl. And again, whisking. You're gonna notice that there's gonna be clumps of butter and cream cheese inside of the sugar. So, pretty easy. Just keep on whisking until you achieve a creamy texture. Basically, it's just like making icing. Any type of frosting that you've made before, that's it. And here is where you take part into this. So, some people like their frosting more thick, some people like it very runny. So if you like a frosting, just leave it like that. If you like more of a glaze, you add a little bit of water or milk, whatever you have in hand is fine. You can add any type of flavorings into this. You can add, well, and honestly anything. It can be lemon essence, vanilla essence, coconut extract, whatever you have there that you want to use, it's fine. Me, personally speaking, I like my frosting to be thick. Why? Because when I spread it out into the warm cinnamon rolls, it's gonna melt because it has butter and the cream cheese inside. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. And there you go. You have your icing, delicious frosting. Cream cheese frosting. Okay, so now we're gonna fill the rolls, which is very easy. Take your dough, which is already rested. First of all, we have to sprinkle a little bit of flour on the surface so that it doesn't stick. Because we're gonna roll it and then we're gonna fill it with the cinnamon thing that we already did. So, take your whole dough out. So, nice and elastic. Sprinkle a little bit more of flour. Pat it in. Flour your roller as well, and start rolling. Carefully, you don't want to be too rough on this because this dough is pretty fragile. The gluten is already developed, just like we said that it was going to be. And the thinner it is, the more layers of filling it's going to have. So you do want to make sure that you have a thin layer of dough. Stretch it out because we want a rectangle shape, no circular, it's to be a rectangle. Rolling. Almost done, almost there. Make sure you have your oven at 350 Fahrenheit, just like we did for the chicken. And there you go. Just like that. Take your whole filling of cinnamon, here, right in the middle, and with a spatula, a knife, whatever you have in hand, spread it out. Spread all that thick filling. You can add any spices, you can even add chocolate, nuts, whatever you want. This is the beauty about this dough, that you can even make it savory. If you want to have savory rolls, just fill it up with some butter, rosemary, salt, pepper, roll it up, make a glaze out of butter again, some turkey stuff or something, and there you go, you have delicious buttered rolls, just for a side for your dinner, but this time we're doing it sweet. So once you have all that spread out evenly, just make sure all the sides have filling as well, because you don't want any empty spots. Just like that, Then from this side, we're gonna start rolling it carefully. You don't want to get the filling out. Evenly enough. Keep on rolling it. Shake off the excess flour. Make sure everything is on its place. Keep on rolling. And because the butter is not melted, it shouldn't go anywhere. If it's melted, well, yeah, it's gonna run up from the sides. So, but right now, I don't think we're gonna have that problem. Thank God. Once you have it, there you go. You have your cinnamon roll right there. And now the only thing that's left to do is cut it, put it in a butter pan, brush it with some egg wash. That is basically just egg beaten with a little bit of milk, and put it in the oven for like about half an hour. Put the icing on top, and there you go. But now let's concentrate in present and cut these guys. All right, so now that we have a roll ready to go, we're going to cut it out and put it in the pan. We already have here our butter pan, just butter. You don't have to add any flour or anything, just butter is fine. Because you can serve however you want. I prefer to just take it out from the actual pan and put it on a plate or something. You can do it here if you want. All right, so we take a roll carefully enough. Make sure it has a nice shape, long. Shape it with your hand is fine. And first you're gonna cut in half. That way it's even and we have equal parts. If you want to put a little bit of flour in the actual knife so that it doesn't stick to it, that's fine as well. And then you're going to cut again. Again, a little bit more of flour. We do this so that it doesn't stick, because this dough is kind of sticky right now. So again, cut in half, flour the knife until you're done. Half, half, half. Then another half here, carefully. Half again. And half again. And now we're going to place it in the pan. So this side is the one that's supposed to go up, where you can see the filling. And just spread it around. Try to stick it together so that when they bake, they can just open up. Because then it's not going to be a roll, it's just going to be a bread with cinnamon. Alright, so place all of your pieces inside. And make sure they have space in between, because these are going to grow. Actually, we're not just going to stick them right now in the oven. We're going to let them grow a little bit as well. And then we're going to put them in the oven. There, one by one, until you're done. This already smells good, even though they're not even baked. Last two, last one. Now, we have here our egg wash, which is, like I just said before, basically beat an egg with a little bit of milk. Brush the top, just a tiny bit, not too much, because we're still going to be adding glaze. This is just to add a little bit of color, make them golden brown, delicious from all sides, and of course to make them look good. It doesn't add any flavor whatsoever. It's not going to taste eggy. It's not going to do anything flavor-wise. It's just going to be visually appealing. Alright, so now we have all our rolls ready to rest. Yes, they have to rest again so that they can develop and grow a little bit more before we stick them into the oven. So we don't have to wait another hour, don't worry about it. Maybe like 20, even 15 minutes. It depends how warm the room is. Just make sure they're in a warm place, not too hot, not too cold, just the right temperature. So now that the rolls have finished growing up, we're gonna open the door oven, stick them in, and they're gonna take about 30 minutes. But make sure they're cooked inside. Just make sure about that. So just like 30 minutes, check again if they're done. Good. If they're not, well then just add a little more time, maybe like 5 more minutes. All right, so here we have our cinnamon rolls ready to roll. Finally, the last step, the step that all we've had waiting for, is to glaze them. So here we have the glaze that we already made earlier. Again, you can have it more icing or as a frosting, whatever you like. Here is like a intermediate. It's not too runny, it's not too thick, just like I like. So just when they're just out of the oven, so that they can melt away, so that the icing can melt, you're gonna pour it on top evenly. And even if it looks like a lot at first, it's alright because it's going to melt in. It's going to fill up all the empty sides, and it's gonna be ready to eat. It's that fast, that easy, and that delicious. So we're just going to spread it out. No more buying cinnamon rolls at the grocery store, at the mall, nothing. You can just make them at home just like you always wanted to. Delicious, easy, and honestly, very surprising. Anybody that just goes to your house as a guest and sees these guys, they're gonna be very surprised. You wanna impress your guests at a dinner party, maybe your in-law, whatever you want to do, this is what you have to do. And there you go. Cinnamon rolls, ready to eat. So here you have your dinner, complete dinner. You have your dessert, your main dish, and your side dishes. Just like that, you have a complete dinner for your guests, for the parties, for anything, a special occasion that you would like to have. Here you have all the recipes, all the instructions, all the quantities. You just have to be happy and believe in yourself, because if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you next time. Bye bye.